Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Here we go again. Second week in a row. Actually, 3, isn't it? Friday storm taking aim at Metro Detroit. You can see it moving here to the east on Exact Track 4D radar.
That's right. And take a look what's coming. Live pictures from Minneapolis. They're expecting 6 to 12 inches of snow by the time it moves out there. We're already starting to see school closings for tomorrow. Only 3 or so right now on the list, but more likely to come. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. Luckily, we're not expecting to see as much snow as our friends to the west. Let's get over to Kim Adams here as we get things started at 5 and figure out what's coming our way. Kim.
Well, the issue with this storm is more the timing of it, because the heaviest snow comes right during the heart of the morning rush hour. So we're under a winter weather advisory starting at 10 o'clock tonight and lasting all the way until 2 p.m. Friday. This is just below a winter storm warning. Winter storm warning would be for in excess of 6 inches of snow. We're going to be right around that 3 to 6 inch, but it's still going to be a very heavy snow throughout the morning commute. So 8 o'clock tonight, not much going on, but by 4 a.m. we'll start to see that snow total up and stick to the roads. And as we get into the morning rush hour, 7 a.m. already 2 inches on the ground in Detroit, 2.5 at Metro, close to 4 out in Ann Arbor, because it is coming in from the southwest. So if you live in the northeast part of the viewing area, the snow will come in a little bit later, but also last a little later as well. By the evening commute, close to 6 inches in Port Huron, and anywhere from around 4 to close to 6 around the Metro Detroit area. The difference between this and last week, there are several, but one of them is that everyone pretty much gets the same amount, where last week some places got 2, some places got 12. So this is a much more uniform coverage with this storm. Also, the snow's lighter, so it's not going to be that wet, heavy snow that we had last week. But it is going to be cold, and you add to it those northerly winds. Wind chills in the morning will be in the teens, and that snow will total up, but then start to taper off in the afternoon. So I'll have more on those snow totals for your neighborhood coming up, but you can find out yourself if you just want to download the Forewarn Weather app. Go to your favorite app store, type in WDIV, and you'll have interactive radar right in the palm of your hand.
As Kim mentioned, with the snow expected to hit at the height of the morning commute, county road commissions are getting ready for a very early start tomorrow morning.
Going to be a long day from there. Brandon Rue out tracking the plowing plans across Metro Detroit. Looks like it's going to be a pretty big job to handle here, Brandon.
Yes, absolutely. It is all quiet on the western front. The calm before the storm here at the Salt Barn. In the Southfield area here off of Franklin Road. But anytime the Weather Service issues an advisory, it has everything to do with travel concerns. Metro Detroit snowplow work went from nothing most of this winter to being slammed.
We have been out doing our pre-treating of the roads yesterday and today, where we spray liquid brine on primarily the overpasses, bridges, the places that ice up first.
Craig Bryson with the Road Commission for Oakland County says recent storms have only made his crews stronger.
This is a weeknight after rush hour, X number of trucks, with this kind of snow predicted, morning rush hour coming, this number of trucks, and we follow those guidelines. And basically, when we have heavy snow at a rush hour coming, at a rush hour type time, we're going to have all available trucks out pretty much.
And timing is everything.
The rush hour tomorrow morning is our biggest concern. And we'll obviously come in as soon as the snow starts tonight, and we'll ramp up to our full contingent of trucks probably about 2 or 3 in the morning, so we can build up for that morning rush. But that's our biggest concern, is getting through that morning rush.
So late tonight, the snow starts. We're talking maybe a ½ an inch to an inch per hour, unlike the 1 to 2 inch plus per hour we saw in last Friday's storm. So the Weather Service has a winter weather advisory for, again, the entire area, and the concern primarily for travel, worse during the morning rush, but certainly will be an issue throughout the day entirely tomorrow. Something we'll be watching very closely. Reporting live in Southfield, Brandon Rue.
Yeah.
Local 4.
You got it. All right, Brandon. If you get up early tomorrow to deal with the snow, our morning team also will be getting an early start. Special storm coverage kicks off at 4 a.m. to give you the very latest on the snow and any traffic trouble spots. So join the entire team bright and early tomorrow.
All right, some breaking news to get to here happening in Macomb County. East Point Mayor Monique Owens has been arraigned on a felony charge. The Macomb County prosecutor says Owens fraudulently applied for a grant under the CARES Act and received $10,000 under false pretenses. She was given a personal bond and will be back in court next month. All right, let's take a live look at some pictures tonight from General Motors World Headquarters. That's where word came today. The automaker is eyeing some significant job cuts.
Buyouts are being offered to most salaried workers with 5 or more years on the job. It comes as the company looks to save $1.5 to $2 billion. Sean Lay live on that story for us tonight. These workers, though, don't have a whole lot of time to make that decision, Sean.
Truly do not, Devin. They have to sign up for this buyout by March 24th. They have to leave GM by June 30th. Here are the details.
First of all, what's interesting here is that every car company will talk about their need for talent, that they're desperate for more talent. They're always trying to hire, and they're still trying to hire. Who are they trying to hire? They're trying to hire electrical engineers for EVs. They're trying to hire people that develop software and develop new digital services. Those are not the people that they're hoping are going to leave during this buyout.
Mike Ramsey is the vice president for automotive for Gardner Incorporated, an automotive analyst with an inside view of GM, having covered GM for the Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg. Today's big GM news, the company now offering buyouts to most of its salaried employees. That's 58,000 employees and global executives. The details: GM offering employees 1 month of pay for every year of service up to 12 months. The plan to try to save up to $2 billion while hiring at the same time, hiring a different type of GM employee.
They are trying to shift the employment base at GM from one that is designed around internal combustion engines and old school manufacturing to one that is more digital and more like Apple and more like Google. Right. And so I think that what they're hoping is that they're going to actually rebalance, not just lower the cost of labor, but rebalance who is there.
That means GM shifting gears into an electric vehicle company, getting into the ultra-competitive market for software engineers as GM invests billions into EVs and high tech.
And so they're trying to lower their overall employment costs in the short term so that they can afford some of these other big expenses.
Good insight there. Bottom line here, it's unclear how many employees will take this buyout deal. If a number of them do here locally, live at 6 o'clock, we're going to talk about the impact here on Metro Detroit. Devin?
All right, Sean, we'll keep following that.
Gun safety laws in the spotlight again today in Lansing as lawmakers consider bills involving background checks and private sales of firearms.
Our Paula Tutman live with reaction from those who've been pushing for these new measures, particularly intensely in the wake of the shooting at Michigan State University. Paula.
Yeah, guys. Hi, good evening to you. And absolutely, I think it's a safe bet to say that this package of bills will have a pretty safe and speedy trip to the governor's office, much to the applause to certainly one father in particular, probably many more.
My son was afraid to go to school, and he looked up at me and he said, "Daddy, is someone with a gun going to come to my school today?"
Ryan Bates says after the Oxford High School shootings, he had to lie to his son to get him to go to school.
And I looked down and I said, "Oh no, son, you don't have to worry. School's safe." And what broke my heart was that I was lying to him.
Today is the executive director of End Gun Violence Michigan. He says he's buoyed by swift action being taken by the Democratic State House and Senate, which is passing what he considers gateway legislation to enact gun safety laws. He says it doesn't do everything, but it's a start.
We really want to applaud leaders in the House and Senate who finally had hearing, who finally had votes, and who are sending these bills on the way to becoming law. The time for only thoughts and prayers is over. We need bills, we need laws, we need action.
The first gun legislation since the mass shooting and murders at Michigan State University, in which 3 students were killed, has cleared major hurdles. Democrats in charge of both chambers in Michigan are leading the charge. Last night, with the House Democrats passing a background check bill and a bill to close a loophole for privately sold long guns. Today, the state Senate held hearings.
3 of the 8 children were upstairs in the house. They found guns, plural, and the evidence showed that they were playing with them actively.
Many of these cases had individuals who, through their actions, demonstrated that they were quite serious about killing people.
Looking at 36 years of data, they found red flag laws had no significant effect on murder, suicide, number of people killed in mass shootings.
The research clearly shows that red flag laws are an effective way to save lives.
We would have had troubles with youth hunting throughout the state because of the requirement to have a license to possess.
In the end, a package of bills are being sent to the governor's desk. Yeah, and so the trip for bills to become a law will be in the fast lane on this one as the governor receives a package of bills sent to her by members of her own party. Guys?
Okay, Polo, we appreciate it.
Repealing Michigan's right to work law closer to becoming a reality.
New tonight, what folks on both sides of the aisle are saying about it.
Also, Norfolk Southern CEO on the hot seat in Washington. New tonight, the tough questions being asked and why some of them are saying an apology just isn't enough. Hank.
Perhaps you parked in Royal Oak. Maybe you're one of the more than 30,000 every month who gets a ticket. Well, now some big changes are coming because of the parking issues here in this community. I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank. I'm going to break it all down for you live tonight.